since we know that the order in the universe has to increase all the time, laws of Levitch, and we talked a lot. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we know it has to be so regardless the source, and who said that. And since we also talked a lot about the meaning of human life and why humans are around here, and so on and so forth, I claim, and I've already hinted on that, that our job here is to create next generation of intelligent beings, and probably disappear afterwards. Now, I call it intelligence version 2.0. Now, and I'll start with our good friend Stephen Hawking. That's a quotation from him only a few months ago in January 2004. He said that one can imagine such technology outsmarting financial markets, out-inventing. He's referring to artificial intelligence, the possibility of creating so-called artificial intelligence. Just to remind you, artificial intelligence is my real profession. So success in creating AI, artificial intelligence, would be the biggest event in human history. Unfortunately, it might also be the last. Okay. So, in spite of all that, I'm trying to define this intelligence 2.0 as if we are starting a new company. It's our next startup. Okay. So first of all, let's talk about functional requirements. So what are the functional? What would we like to have from such a system? Okay. So the main functional requirement is that this new version of intelligence must be able to spread into cosmos and to populate another stellar systems. Okay, that is because like the resources on Earth certainly will run out sooner or later. Certainly before the huge number of the expected lifespan of the universe that Eugene said. So we need exactly like humans spread over the continents and oceans.
I'm sorry, just one second, one interjection. Universe is totally senseless. It exists just for us to fathom.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's yet another point. Okay. So new intelligent creature, intelligence 2.0, I'll call it I2 in the continuation, must support the following features. Okay, as your smartphone, it must support certain features. So first of all, it must be have enough longevity to survive interstellar travel, probably thousands of years, to get to some other planets. It must be robust, meaning it has to be able to withstand great acceleration, weightlessness, cosmic radiation. Now, it must be, and that is something which probably contradicts what you are saying, in my view, it must be decentralized or low level of centralization. I see it as a kind of an internet. Okay, it's not one central brain, but many. I'll talk a lot about it later. Exactly how this thing can work. That means, sorry, because of your calculation of the mass of the human brain, I can't it must be in one place. Oh, you'll explain it to me later. Yeah. So it must be distributed in order to be able to survive destruction of certain parts. Now, of course, there must be a very high level of communication and cooperation between individual creatures, and they should have additional type of senses, such as, for example, a sense we have only 5, 6, whatever. I would like to have also a sense of electromagnetic field. Now, we must have remote sensing and feeling. I don't have to be physically present. I want to have a sensor in the ocean or in another planet which I'll feel exactly as if it is a part of my, let's call it body, distributed body. And of course, we must have a kind of local and remote actuators, devices and tools. Okay, we don't need plants or factories to produce. They will need plants or factories to produce foods. It will be all the food or clothes or housing. It's like a part of this distributed body. Notice what I'm talking is now a functional requirement. That's what I want from the system. I'm not telling you how it can be done, and you will be amazed in a moment.
But
Okay?
you're requiring for what, Lev?
Sorry?
For what?
That's requiring for what I call I2, Intelligence 2.0. That's how the
For achieving
creatures
what?
who will replace us on Earth and cosmos, sorry?
For achieving what?
As I said, the main thing, the point number one, I return to point number one, to be able to spread and to settle in other stellar systems.
What for?
Yeah. What for?
What for?
We'll run out.
No, it's
So,
that
you just forget.
it's I'm not discussing.
It's not with humanity. The question is what for?
No, no, it will be it's a new version of humanity.
Let
Okay,
me
sorry.
answer this question. How long do you think that humanity will live?
Exactly.
I don't know.
I know. There is no reason at all why it should not
Should not what?
continue living.
Okay, fine.
But not-
not
but-
speak about humanity. Speak about other creatures.
No, it cannot.
What it will be
Humanity
doing-
cannot
What will
continue.
it be doing for 10 hours, 38 years on Earth?
No way
I'm
we
not
can
saying
survive
not
here.
going around. I'm not.
No way we can survive on Earth
That's
for.
fine, but you're not speaking about humanity here.
I mean, it's a semantic. It's best useless. Sorry, Leo. It's like it's senseless discussion. I mean, call it. I'm calling it. I gave it on purpose, and I thought about it. Intelligence version 0.0. It's a better version of you, okay? Of us, of humanity, okay?
That's easy to achieve.
Okay. Now,
He wants to be God himself, create.
Oh, that's right. It's not that I want. It's not that I want. It's our job to create in our own image the new version. Exactly. That's okay. That's what we're talking about. Now, don't interrupt me. No interruption. Don't have time. So that's functional requirements. Now I want to look at the life cycle of I1. Okay, in order to understand how to build the I2. Okay. So first of all, the first stage is conception. Then human embryo lives in the womb, and interestingly enough, remember that ontogenesis follows the path of polygenesis. Okay, so that's like with Microsoft Windows. You still have DOS somewhere over there, down there, lurking behind all the windows and everything. Why? Why? Yeah, the system is too complex. You can't, what I say when I used to be manager of software teams, I say that you sometimes pull in air and your leg falls off, okay? It's too complex system, okay? So these seemingly useless parts, you cannot delete them because then they create a whole havoc on the whole system. Now, so after the human embryo is created, after conception, the question is when a soul, these Planck particles of yours, enter into the hardware. Okay, different religions think about it differently. Catholics, they think it at the moment of conception. Jews say 3-4 months later, and so on and so forth, and that's why abortions are permitted or not permitted at the certain stages.
40 days.
40 days, whatever. So anyway, certainly after the child is born, some kind of operating system, some kind of soul is already there. I'll use here Kabbalistic terms because they're like in Kabbalah, they say that there are 3 levels of your soul. One is called neshama. That's something that everyone has, like including animals. Okay.
Even Obama.
Yeah, even Obama, including animals. Okay. Now the second level is ruach, which is something like intellect, and the third level is nefesh. That's the real thing. Okay. So I say that most probably the child is born with the first level, with the neshama type of style. Now another interesting event. Again, I'm reminding you, we're talking about our life cycle. Another interesting event is at the age of 13 or 12 or 13. Again, in various religions, it's like confirmation, bar mitzvah, or something like this. That is coming of age. Now, note what happens when you come of age. 2 things. First of all, it's sexual development, which in principle allows you to recreate or produce new beings, new human beings. It's not allowed in most of the countries before the age of 17 or 18, but in principle, technically, boys and girls are ready.
It's not politically correct.
No. Okay, Zhenka, we don't have time. Don't have time. Let's do. Okay, sorry. Okay, and second, again, according to the Kabbalah, before the age of 13, you are only a Yetzer Hara. That means that you are only bad, the only bad beginning, or the devil which lives in your soul, and you're only this thing. You don't have the good part of you, which essentially creates the freedom of will. Because if you don't have the bad and the good part fighting between each other, you are not a free person. You cannot really consciously make good or bad decisions.
Yeah.
Okay? So at the age of 13, together with sexual development, comes this ability, at least in theory, comes this ability to distinguish between evil and good. Good and
Be responsible.
and this is of course responsibility. I'm not talking about social aspects of it. Okay. Now, so I need you, Eugene, to calculate what is the amount of these Planck particles or amount of synapses that you have to develop in your brain to reach this kind of complexity of the system. Now, so we're talking here about 10% of the maximum possible lifespan of 120. 10% point. Notice we're talking about software part and hardware part. Hardware part is reproduction, and software part is ability to distinguish between evil and. Yeah. Now, today, at about 70% of max life, you die because of hardware failures. Hardware failures. It's a good question what happens with your soul. Probably some religions say it's recycled or something like that, but essentially, of course, no one knows. But I1 disintegrates because of the hardware problems, not because of the software problems. Okay? Now let's design. Give it to me. I'll just switch it over. Yeah. Give it to me. Sorry. Now, let us try to design or to define the requirements for I2, life cycle. Okay? Again, it's not yet a design, it's a requirement. Now, so first of all, I say I2 also should be born, evolve throughout lifetime, and die. Okay? Now, reproduction will also be based on recombination. I don't know if you need a boy and a girl, probably you'll need 5 or 6 or something like that. Okay, it doesn't matter. But what I need is recombination. I'm sorry, I'm short of time, but you understand why recombination, because without recombination, you can't produce more complex systems and evolution. So I believe that a kind of an intercourse will take place on a software level. On a software level with kind of DNA style recombination. Now, sorry? Sorry, but probably it's like 3 or 4 or 5, doesn't matter. Okay? And then hardware will be produced by 3-dimensional printing. Hardware will be produced, and the neshama style software will be implanted in this hardware. Okay? Now, then of course, both, but here development will be both on hardware and on software level throughout the life cycle. The hardware evolution, because of the reproduction, because of possibilities of 3-dimensional printing, and that's one of my movies, you won't believe what you see, okay, which exists today, okay? We don't need this 15% lifetime point, because we can always produce new parts. We can always produce now. All the medicine will be like this. You lose a part, a remote controlled leg somewhere, you just print a new one. Now, I also want to have a kind of a bat mitzvah point of coming of age point, where this evil part will be overbalanced. And again, I need this calculation, exactly how many Planck particles you need for that. What is the complexity of the system that will bring you to this point. Now, I2 will die because of software problems and not because of the hardware problems. The software will become of such a complexity that maintenance will be not worth it. You just throw it away. No. But here, for sure, I can recycle. For sure, I can recycle. Okay, now, it's tempting to think that some of this I2, the future I2s who will be Newtons and Einsteins, that you will be able to recycle them completely. I don't believe in that. Again, because of the software failures. So suppose you have like an absolutely brilliant scientist, or I don't know, and you want to replicate him many times. Okay, you won't be able to, not because of the hardware, because of software problems. Okay, it won't help you. So again, it will be dynamically interconnected universe of many I2s. Okay, of many I2s, and I'll continue. So again, to summarize, sexual recombination and birth, appearance of neshama, 10% max life point where the evil and the distinguishing between good and evil, 15% coming of age, and then software failure and recycling of hardware. Hardware, of course, will be recycled. Okay, that's easy. Now, let's talk a few words about possible social organizations. How much time do I have? Misha, сколько времени еще есть? Okay, I'll skip that. Okay, conceptual design. So that was all the requirements. Now, so of course it will be based on silicon, inorganic materials, source of power electricity, because it can be generated in many places in space, distributed processing, distributed memory storage, hierarchy of memory and processing, sensors, actuators and tools, communication channels, and 3D printing. Now on the software, it will look like distributed web-style database and knowledge base, crawlers, of course, and search engines to bring the information, multi-sensor correlation. All these technologies exist today. Flexible, non-Aristotelian reasoning, exactly as you suggested, of course. Again, in artificial intelligence, error correction, very developed technology today, redundancy, and kind of recombination mechanism. Now, where do we stand today? Where do we stand? Here are first of all, I'll show you some pictures, okay? Now, that is a picture. That's a picture of F-16. Just note one simple thing. There is no man. There is no pilot in the cabin. Now, that is Israeli Iron Dome system, which in 5 seconds calculates the trajectory, detects the launch, calculates the trajectory of incoming missile, recalculates its trajectory again, and hits with 95% probability the incoming missile. And that's, absolutely. And that's Google car. There's no steering wheel there, and there is no accelerator there. There's just one button, like on a computer, start. And that's it. And it navigates itself. Okay? Will be in serial production in a few years from now. Now I want to show you two technologies which are already there. These are my movies.
Left to the left.
Left.
יש שם X בצד שמאל ויש שם שטח מלא לסרצ' אפשר לסגור את זה. לא חשוב.
Skip that. Okay. Okay, that's three-dimensional. That is state of the art of three-dimensional printing. That's a range, okay? A normal range which you have in your normal life, okay? Notice, it's made of metal. It has moving parts. One moves against each other, okay? So here we come to a factory with a range, okay? We scan it. No, it's so slow. Anyway, the outcome of this thing is a moving range, okay? With all the moving parts. They scan it, put it in the machine, made out of metal, okay? You can buy the machine today, $30,000, something like this, okay? Of course, it's probably not fast enough. You don't do it in seconds, or it probably takes, these are the parts they produce. Look at that, on these three-dimensional printers. These are the parts they can produce. Look. With moving parts, look. Look at this thing. Isn't it stunning?
There are body parts being printed today already.
Oh yeah, they are printing body parts, of course. Yeah, we don't need body parts. We don't need this hydrocarbon-based material stuff. We don't need it. But today you can print arteries. They're already approved for implants. They are growing kidneys and printing kidneys. Well, yeah, I didn't want to show this movie because it's like irrelevant. The most printed, a printed one or real one? No, but it's plastic. It's printed. Is it printed? A printed one? Made with three-dimensional print. Here's the fact.
We don't need
Okay.
movies. We have Eugene.
Yeah, I'll try to skip it.
We have
Okay.
you. We don't need the movie.